states would show like every city, like how they got it to where they only show you the views on one Facebook page. They don't show you everything on YouTube. Because then I'm going on YouTube, people be coming on shit on YouTube. I'm like, damn. But sometimes they do show up, and sometimes they don't. Well, unless people just go look at it late. It's crazy, man. That's Auntie Ronnie. She do the Sugar Shack show on Saturday. The boots thing Hey, you seen that dude who be doing those skits and he be doing his shoulders like that? That's what the hell you did look like.
I know exactly what you're talking about because he was that dude now from the ground. Auntie Renee.
Yeah, Auntie Renee, yeah.
He was like, I was doing that shit. That's what made me start it. Don't start.
I said guard.
Okay.
Hey. Touch my head.
Yeah, I heard
And I'm okay. No.
Hey, what's up, man? We appreciate y'all for checking into the G-Spot podcast. Make sure, like I tell y'all always, make sure y'all drop positivity in the comments. So somebody can read them later. I hope y'all having a good night tonight. We got a pretty interesting. Jesus Christ, y'all can't see me. I'm the everybody else. I know.
Lord, have mercy.
See my lace eyes.
Hey, you see it. You should have worn that damn packs. Hey, like I said, man, I appreciate y'all for checking in with us tonight. We got a very interesting topic. I actually think I want to do a part 2 to this too, with a couple of doctors, and I'm gonna do that. First of all, man, I got which y'all seen. Yeah, I got a couple of guests. We got a new guest with us tonight. Of course, y'all know my best friend Mercedes in the building, and we got DaQuarius up in the building today. First of all, tell them what you do, bro. Be cooking. I don't know if y'all ever put it if you're not local. Bruh, no, what she said, we got a review right here, a live review.
Yeah, that's good.
Hey, I'm on Brisk Kitchen and Catering. I serve good quality Southern food, offer catering, and everything you can think of Southern. Oxtails, fried chicken, macaroni cheese, dressing, collard greens, everything from scratch.
I see. Hey, and you said it's
Brisk Kitchen on Facebook. You can like it on my Facebook page, Brisk Kitchen. Most definitely.
Brisk Kitchen. Yeah. That's what's up though, for real, man. It's really cool seeing so many black entrepreneurs, man. People, you got to now. You got to have some type of side hustle. Yeah, because shit getting real unaffordable down here right now. You know what I'm saying?
Shit getting real unaffordable.
Yeah, like man, my rent just went up $200. They ain't fixing nothing. They ain't came over there and tried to switch out no dishwashers or nothing like that, man. I'm like, bro, they ain't going up $200. But I like the area that I'm in, honestly, downtown. And I grew up in the area, you know, so it's pretty cool to still be down there. So I'm gonna try to stick it out as long as I can. One thing we were talking about before we went live tonight, we're gonna talk about a little bit. Have y'all seen the Jeffrey Dahmer story? Make sure if y'all have seen it or have y'all started watching the series, put in the comments, man, how y'all feel about the series. Have you started watching it?
I haven't started. Well, I partly started. I started for like 5 minutes, but in the first 5 minutes, he's weird. But I'm super excited to see what's going on, though.
Yeah,
definitely.
Yeah. What about you?
Nah, I haven't saw anything of it yet, but I heard some good shit about it.
Yeah. No, you can talk how you want to.
Oh, okay, shit, yeah. Yeah, I'm definitely excited to watch it though.
Yeah. I know I've heard of the story. My mom she was always one of those first 48 mama's crime investigations. You know what I'm saying? Since I was a kid. Yeah, so she always told me the story of Ted Bundy and
watched it.
Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer and the Jeffrey Dahmer situation. I saw the movie years ago. That was just, you know.
I think they have a. Did they have a movie?
Yeah, they had a movie. It was
on
an
Netflix.
Old movie. Now I don't know if it was on Netflix.
I think it was on Netflix, and I think that's what the name I heard. Because remember I told you I heard the name. I was like, where did I hear the name from? I think it was.
Yeah, it was, and they called it Dahmer. It was a movie.
Okay.
It was a movie.
Okay.
It was. Okay. You're right, and it was a pretty recent movie. Yeah. and it was, I think that they call it that necrophiliac. I think that's what it is, when you have the fetish of having sex with dead people.
Yeah. They say it was gruesome too. The series get real nasty.
Yeah, because he was chopping up bodies and doing all kind of crazy stuff. But you know, I think you wonder what was not clicking in your head, because something had to be off.
Right.
I'm gonna say what was clicking. What was not? What would make you want to have sex with somebody dead? Like, most people don't even want to touch the dead body. You know what I'm saying?
Let alone be in a room with one.
Yeah.
You want to hump them.
Yeah. In your own space, you know, it was crazy, man. I saw the family of one of the victims, which was a black guy.
Tracy, not Tracy. Oh my God, his name. I think his name started with T. I seen it on Facebook recently, and he was in court getting ready to testify against him.
Yeah, well, see, the one I saw one of the victim's sisters, who was black, and the family is upset about the reenactment of her sister. I guess they feel like it is poking at a traumatic experience that their family had to deal with. And whoever the woman, the actress was that acted out the scene, she was pretty good and spot on from look to everything with it. But I understand too, as a family, that is a traumatic experience that you have to go through and watch, because for her to react. Yeah, I think it's like Isbels or Isbels or something like that. So that was crazy to watch, and I hope the family, get the piece that they need from the situation. I think you got to look at a situation like that, understand how they feel about it, but you have to be real about it. Like, that is something that people are going to talk about for a long time. Right. And the movie's been going on for a long time, and it's just kind of crazy to me now. All of a sudden, when they pick your sister to reenact the scene, then now y'all feel some type of way. But if anything, I would take it as y'all kind of showing how maybe we should take some positivity from this to remember the people who were victims of this situation. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because that was some nasty stuff to make you want to have sex with somebody that's that fucking crook.
I don't even know what to say.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Man, there's certain movies I can't watch when they get too weird. Like, I can't watch Beloved. I can't watch.
But I can't watch Inside.
Yeah, that is one of my favorite movies.
Pineapple Teeth. That's all I hear that lady saying. I be having nightmares about that, like pineapple teeth. Like,
man, I love Inside. That's one of my favorite movies.
But Beloved, I can watch, but I have to close my eyes on some part.
Yeah, I don't really like Beloved because it was just a little weird. Because I thought of incest when I seen it, and I can't watch nothing with incest. That's why I never watched Precious.
Yeah.
When somebody was like, she was making her daughter do this, and I never could watch that.
Yeah, I can watch Precious.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a little weird. Tonight, man, we're gonna be talking about struggles of being a single parent. We have two parents in the building. I'm a parent too, but I'm a parent by default. We ain't gonna get into that. This is that type of episode. I'm a father by default. Yeah, by default. Yeah, but we're not gonna get into that. You know, I was a phenomenal stepfather before.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that shit matters, man.
Yeah, it definitely matters. You know what I'm saying? And you know, this white dude said, "You were not a stepfather. You were a father that stepped up." And I was like,
"You better say it. You better say it."
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It made me feel good, though. You feel what I'm saying? But we're going to talk about that because I do know that for a lot of people, it is a struggle when it comes to raising children, especially with multiple children by yourself. And so I kind of want to give this episode, we'll start off with, you know, people kind of vent and tell how they feel. Shout out to all the single parents that's making it work. I grew up, was raised by a single mother. Fortunately, I had grandparents who stepped in and did their thing too. And made me to be a wonderful guy. One thing I can say though, that affected me in the process, I knew who my father was, of course. And honestly, I'm closer to my dad's family than I am to my dad. So for me, I used to, you know what I'm saying? We used to go to people football games and stuff, and I always wanted to get into that but I didn't have nobody to show me that, you know. But I don't fault him for it because I honestly realized that he didn't have a father. So how could I expect for him to know how to raise a child? You know what I'm saying? He felt like what he did at the time was the thing to do, was enough, or was something to do, and he ended up getting in trouble. And so I don't knock it for him. But I do understand though that for me,
y'all do have a relationship now.
Yeah, we have a good relationship now because you know you just gotta. What is the point of me holding on to it?
Yeah.
You know, everybody trying to grow. We all make mistakes, and what I know how to do now is just not to repeat the same thing when it's my turn. That's just how I look at it now. But we definitely have a good relationship. And but it was a lot of things that I did wish that I had my dad for growing up. And I know that it was a lot of things that, especially the type of man that my dad is, if he was around, I wouldn't have gotten it too. You know what I'm saying? So there's some things that I do wish. I know for you, I know for some of y'all probably, I'm pretty sure y'all should know my girl. Um, you kind of grew up in a single parent household as well.
Yep.
So how did that affect you?
See, what I'm not going to do is put me being a single mother on my mom, but it does kind of have an effect because you see the guys she deal with, and then you see the guys I deal with, and it kind of be like, huh, what do you know? You know?
Yeah.
So like I said, I'm a grown ass woman. I made my own decisions. I made my choice to lay down with who I make lay down with. You know, did I think I would ever be a single mother? No. Like he was there, and then he wasn't there. So it was just like whatever, dude. Like, at first, it was very much so effective against me being a parent because you know you just never think you could do it by yourself, but shit, I've been doing it 11 years now, right? And I gotta keep doing it because if I don't, who gonna do it?
Yeah, that's true. I understand that too. So for you grew up with both of your parents?
I did not. I actually didn't grow up with either one of my parents.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, but before I moved with my aunt and my uncle at an early age of my life, but before then, my mom was a single parent. I had my sister and brother dad is really the only dad that that I know of. My daddy ain't shit, I grew up and kind of forgave him.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I haven't really fully forgiven him because he ain't gave me the answers I needed to have. You feel me? Certain things that I'm gonna have to answer to my kids. You feel me? So hey, I look at him as like a homeboy.
Yeah.
Like, most definitely, like that's how I handle him because he's not man enough. He wasn't man enough to answer me and ask me questions that I need to be answered. So I feel like I just give him that end of the stick. Now my mom, she was single. I used to watch my mom work in the daytime. Hey, work at a club at nighttime. You feel me? Like she did what she had to do for us.
Yeah.
She fell on hard times and she couldn't do it no more. She passed me along to my aunt and my uncle. So
which is good that she had that.
Most definitely, yeah. So she had a lot of support, but I definitely saw my mom get up and go to work, cooking, cleaning every day, mopping floors, wiping down windows, doing hair, all that. So I definitely was raised by single mom, my single mom.
Yeah. So do you feel like if you were raised by both of your parents, things would have been better for you, or?
Hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I used to feel like that, but now I don't feel like that, honestly, anymore. I feel like life is what you make it. Hey, you gotta be grown about the situations. Hey, I ain't always been a single dad. Hey, but I know now I'm in a position, so I respect the fact of being a dad a different way. I look at the fact of being a dad a different way. So I feel like I just feel like if you want to be there, you're gonna be there.
Yeah.
If you want to be a part of your kid's life, you're gonna do it.
Right.
Whatever you need to do, whatever you got to do. I ain't a perfect dad in the world, but hey, if you feel like you a shitty ass dad, then probably 9 times out of 10 you are. Because you ain't putting that time in and that quality in that you need to put in with your kid.
Yeah.
And I've learned for a long time, like it's about the time you put in.
Yeah.
Like the knowledge you instill in them, like the creativity that you see and you build in the memories. Like that's what it's about. I used to always think about money, but it ain't about that.
No.
It's really not.
It's funny you said it because I've said this story before. I mean, I had my dad on my show before. And my dad, what I'm saying, he was a big time, street man, So he had a lot of money. That's one thing I never had to worry about clothes, shoes, always send it. But I remember when he ended up going to prison, we had a conversation because even while he was in prison, he was still supplying the same thing.
Yeah.
And then for me, I was like, man, you know what, Dad? Like, I don't really care about those clothes and stuff like that. I actually made the man cry, because of course for him, he felt like that was him doing something about it. Well, I'm gonna provide. I'm still making sure you dress good. You got to clean shoes. We had the latest clothes, latest shoes. I remember wearing Dada's. I don't know many people wear Dada's. So we wore all of that, growing up. But I had to tell him, like, man, it's the time. Like kids, I'll never forget though. Let me tell you this crazy story. So my dad, when he would come into town, he had an apartment that was ducked off. He would never tell nobody he was here. So he come to town 1 year for my birthday. I think I was turning about, I had probably turned about 10, 11. And I said probably, I was turning about, hell, I was younger than that. I had to be about 8 or 9. And he had this really nice apartment that was ducked off. And he called me over. He was like, he called mom, was like, drop my son off. It's his birthday. I want to, watch movies and stuff. I was happy. You know what I'm saying? We wasn't going no damn way, but I was happy. I went to the house, man. I never forget. There was 2 women, butt ass naked. It was 2 women. Yeah. It was 2 women, butt ass naked in the kitchen. They're doing. And my dad was like, "Hey, y'all get y'all ass on my son here."
Oh, straight off the movie.
Yeah, straight off the movie. You know what I'm saying? And me, I'm a child. I'm just like, something like that. But I'm not realizing what's really going on. I'm just happy to get to sit down and watch a movie with my dad. Yeah. And so that is very important, man.
You remember that ass?
I remember that ass.
Yeah.
Both of them. And you know what? I never even told my dad that I still remember that, but I'm pretty sure he'd be like, I wouldn't even remember that. But I definitely remember that. You know what I'm saying? And I never even told my mom about it because I knew. When you're young, some people don't have to tell you certain things. You just don't kind of know. Like my mama would have been like, "What the fuck?" You know what I'm saying? So, but I was just so happy to get that time to spend time with him watching movies and stuff like that. So that do play a big part in raising a child, especially a son. A lot of women have different needs when it comes to growing up. But we see now a lot of women who lack fathers in their home. They have a lot of issues with relationships, or what most people call daddy issues. Yeah. And fortunately, we do have a lot of people now, especially this day and age. A lot of women, a lot of people, period, but especially women, are really trying to heal themselves, and they're open about healing themselves and going the holistic route with doing all kinds of spiritual shit. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I even say with that, a lot of people might feel certain ways by certain routes that people take, but if it's helping better them, who are you to say that they're wrong? Right. I feel like God put everything on this earth for us to use. Right. Use it. Right. You know what I'm saying? Shit, if you gotta mix some herbs to make sure you cleanse your shit and you cleanse your oil, you do that. Right. So you definitely yeah, she said the most definitely take 2. That's my sister Sashay. Shout out sis, I love you. But definitely though, it takes 2 to raise a child, and I will say this. One thing that I have a conversation with my sister about is a lot of times we see this the chicks thing going on. My baby daddy ain't here, my baby daddy this, my baby daddy that. But sometimes your baby daddy not being there might be the best thing for your child. Absolutely. Because a lot of men, we deal with stuff, you know what I'm saying? And that's why when I got to the point, my dad, I had to let that go because, man, I don't know what you was going through growing up to make me feel like I got to go to the streets, So I can't hold that against you now, I'm grown now, and hopefully you can make that up with my nephew now.
Hey, you really made a good point when you just said that, man. Yeah. It's more of a manhood thing. When a man don't want to bring his kid around him at a certain point in his life. Yeah, it's wrong at the end of the day because he's missing the time. You feel me? But if you got a whole bunch of crap going on, you homeless, why would you go and pick up your kid? Dudes have different type of theories, different type of stories going on. But I feel like if he's really a man, if he's saying like, hey, I'm just gonna decline the time for my child right now, and if he's doing it for a valid reason, I don't think he should be bashed. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Demons, all energy change off. Like he can bring them to some sceneries where you don't even want him at. He come back home and he start acting a certain way. You feel me? Like, he come home and start saying this or that. Like you gotta understand, like those different type of spirits. Hey, Dad was telling you, like, give me a little bit. I know I keep telling you the same thing, but give me a little bit. Because at the end of the day, it don't matter. Every parent, mom or dad, want their kids to be safe at all times, at all costs. So if I feel like I'm putting my son in danger or my daughter in danger, then I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna leave them where they at, where I know they're safe at, which is your mom or their dad, however the case may be. Yeah. So I mean, that makes perfect sense. Though. Yeah. I used to say that, and I still do say it, but I don't say to a lot of people because a lot of people don't feel that way. Right. It should be no excuses, and I feel like that too at the end of the day. Yeah. But just what I'm saying, just looking at life and how life presents itself and like things that people are going through, like no excuses, but you gotta look at people what it really is. Like, okay, shit, I'm struggling too, you struggling. I respect that. I'm gonna let my son stay home and you go get your life together. Yeah. I'm coming back. Now it's up to the dad to make up that time that you missed. That's true. Like putting in whatever. I don't give a damn if you gotta keep the child for 2 months straight. Yeah. You gotta make up that time.
Yeah.
And you got to be consistent about it.
I feel, especially, you know, we both had our encounters in the military, and with our when with that though, when it comes to, you know, how can I put it? Me, us both experienced people in the military, you get to experience a different type of people from all different cultural backgrounds. And when that happens, you get to see the family dynamics with different cultures. I think we, as a culture, use that ain't no excuse.
Yeah.
When we have a lot of excuses.
Right.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Now, the thing is, we have to be real about the cards that we are dealt with as indigenous Americans, okay? Because they try to make it seem like, you know, oh, all y'all ain't from us. Some of us were originally from here, you know? So,
it's a different conversation.
Yeah, it's a different conversation. But at the same time, man, you got to think, man, we have a lot of trauma growing up.
Absolutely.
There was a time in society when all the weight when it came to the world was on the man.
Absolutely.
And when a man is stripped of who he is for hundreds of years, and you expect for him to feel like, oh, well, you got to have your shit together. But let's talk about, well, how can you heal? And I bring this up all the time. When people was making comments about R. Kelly, and I was like, look at you, I'll be British. Look at you niggas crucifying your own people. Instead of saying, you know what, let's try to figure out what was wrong with him. What made you act out like that? What did you go through? All of a sudden come out, oh, he was molested as a child. Right. Oh, okay. Then of course, like you said earlier, if I take my child into this environment, then I don't know what my child will come back with.
My child will come back probably.
Yeah, so we have to get to a point in our community where we have to learn how to help each other instead of bashing each other. And we always say, ain't no excuse until it's your turn to use an excuse.
Yeah.
And you can't do that for nobody. I tell people all the time, black people are very unforgiving. But you know who they will forgive? White people.
Hello. Let's say that again.
I'm sorry, you said you sent me a check.
Let's say that again. Donald Trump 2024.
Yeah. Oh yeah, put them back in office. Put this back in office. Y'all, you make sure y'all
pussy.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Same one.
You know who you are over some money. You know what I'm saying? And then that's when you even get into
the money sold for some money to the white man.
That's what they do. And
that's what they want you to do.
That's what they want you to do.
Still struggling. He gave all us $1,400 and we still struggling.
And knowing they got them inflation. You give us 14, knowing that shit finna be
going down. American car and got that high ass cost.
Then they holding all y'all taxes this year.
They gotta be reposed previously.
But you know, even with that, it's the thing is we have to, as a community, learn how to heal each other. Start having classes as black men, stop looking at each other like, and a lot of times you can go to a brother and speak, not here, they won't even say nothing.
Because you know why? They're not secure within their manhood. They're not secure within themselves. That's a problem.
That's a problem.
I noticed that, a lot of people go around like men, like niggas, you feel me? Like just want to say.
But guess what? That's only like they here.
Yeah.
You go to other states.
No, I don't agree.
I don't agree.
Texas, that's nice.
Listen,
I love Texas.
I stay in Texas. That's different. But when you go other places like them, like niggas down in Alabama and Mississippi and
it's worse.
Like it's worse down there.
It's worse
because you don't know. But at the end of the day, like you said, you don't know what type of trauma them people went through.
Exactly.
Nigga, it's okay for you to dap a brother up. It's okay for you to speak to a brother that you don't know. You feel me? Like that's crazy. Like that's really sickening that you feel like it's outside of your manhood or against your manhood for you to speak to another brother. You feel me? Like, or maybe even give another brother a hug. Like
and see me, I come from a hugging family.
Man, me too.
I can hug each other.
My homies, my brothers, like we tell each other, hey bro, I love you, bro.
Yeah,
like,
you should. Man.
Social media.
Social media and people's traumas that they try to pass off to other people. You know what I'm saying? You need to heal from that. Stop teaching your kids X, Y, Z because you still hurt from certain things.
Stop teaching your kids to disrespect grown people.
Ain't nobody gonna talk to my child. That's when we get out of the village raising the child. When I was growing up, we grew up a lot of times with my great grandmother in the tan yard. And me and my sister would walk around the corner. We had a cousin that stayed around the corner. If we was doing something, she'd call us around. Why could these goddamn kids out here cussing? And she gonna tell us, hey, y'all need to shut your ass up and go back home. Y'all shouldn't be over here acting like that. Now you can't say nothing to nobody, kids. You pull up at McDonald's and fucking Mike, 60-year-old ass, as soon as you pull up, what you want? No, how you doing? No, nothing. You know what I'm saying? Rules said when you
They're
say
very
something
rude.
bad,
They're very rude.
they get slick with you and want to come out the money and fight and then call their parents and their parents back them up. But if, I ain't gonna get into that. I ain't gonna get into those funds and all of that stuff. But it's a lot of healing that we have to do that has to go on in our community, and it's a lot of parents because a lot of times too, getting into the conversation, we get a lot of deadbeat dad conversations. I know a couple deadbeat mamas. They be up in the club. Like my grandma said, the gavel, but
You say my sister.
yeah. I know some deadbeat mamas that, like my grandma said, be in the club 24. You feel me? So yeah, so I know for you as a woman raising your children by yourself, what has been one of the biggest things that you had to battle with? I'm asking you the same question.
That I've had to balance with?
Or battle with as a single mother.
Childcare. And that's before I got childcare. Like, I done had to quit a job before.
Yeah, I remember. Yeah.
I done had to quit because I ain't had nobody to watch my son.
Yeah.
And mom worked 2 jobs.
Yeah.
And you don't have that much family.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do you do?
Yeah.
By the grace of God, I was able to get him into the same daycare that my daughter goes to, but you're not always that lucky.
Yeah, that's true.
Like, I done cut down on going out of everything because I don't even want to leave them with my mama most of the time because she always has them.
Yeah.
Right, that's how I feel, and I feel like she's getting older. Like, I don't have a young mama. So
Yeah.
it's like, it's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. She was tired as fuck. I don't blame her. She worked 14 hours a day.
Yeah, I get that too. So what about you as a father that raises your children? What is the biggest struggle for you?
Biggest struggle for me is honestly, I raise mostly my daughter, so I'm afraid that certain things that I'm not gonna be able to see, like show them and teach them, like that's something that.
At least you can admit that. At least you ain't that. I'm a dad and a
Like,
mom type. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not a dad and I'm not a mom. I
Yeah.
can't be a dad and a mom. And I tell my daughter like all the time, like certain stuff I can't show y'all, like even washing their clothes, like my oldest daughter clothes. Like today I was washing her clothes and I was like putting them in, and when I got home I gave it to her. I was like, huh? She's like, you ain't folding my clothes up? I was like, nah, I don't want to be folding up your panties and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, I feel like I love her and I support her and I give her all that I got, but I feel like as a man, there's just certain things that I cannot show her.
Yeah.
I don't care how much I try to do it.
Absolutely.
I don't care what she sees me do. I don't care what she sees me provide for her and take care of her and the little sister the same way. Like I certain things that I just can't show them. So that's more of like it's a struggle every day because it's something that I know I'm leading to, like that I'm approaching. Because my daughter is with me for the rest of her life. You feel me? So it's something that I'm totally approaching. Like so. I can't just bring anybody in, you know, just to feed my kids, like, or try to teach them and nurture them. Like, I know for a fact, like, so that's definitely a struggle. That's something that I battle with every day. I think about it every single day, like every single day. Like, damn, like when it's time for her to know this, like my daughter is in the 6th grade, you know, AB honor roll student, but you know, it's time for her, time of the month, like who's gonna be like what I'm gonna do. Like, it ain't gonna be me because I don't know what to do. I ain't never been in that situation. I ain't never been like, I know to go buy for her. Yeah. I don't know what to tell her to do, how to do this. You know, of course I got sisters that come over and show her, but in reality, like as her dad, like who she look up to every day, who like that's something that I know I'm gonna struggle with. Yeah. And well, let me take a drink, man.
Yeah. but at least you're doing it, man.
Right.
It was hard, man. I had to take a post to even find, and I know they out there. I'm not gonna say that. But it is kind of hard to get single fathers to come forward and tell their stories. You know what I'm saying? Especially without them feeling like they have to bash their mama or just talking about it a long period. You hear a lot of women talk about it. One thing I don't like when it comes to women bashing their baby fathers on social media is the fact that, man, I used to sometimes be the type where I feel like, well, you chose them. And I feel like that's kind of messed up to say that. You know, because sometimes you're going to a situation you think is going to be one thing.
My situation.
Yeah, and it don't be that.
Listen, but in that case, then let me just say that shit, all situations like that, like not just women on the man side, man on like I told y'all before we went live, I got 6 kids, 6 baby mamas. I'm not afraid. You know, I feel like, you know, I ain't calling nobody no mistake, but you know, I feel just the same way as some of my other baby mama might feel about me, or how your baby mama might feel about you. Just like you said, a parent can be both ways, a man and a woman. But a very touchy conversation that people don't want to talk about is women being deadbeats.
Oh yeah.
And then there's a lot of them that's deadbeats and they still have custody of their kids. You feel me? Like,
but in the club area, we get.
But nobody want to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Like that's
be out every day.
When it boils down to it, you know, what saves me from being a single dad is like the type of love I was brought up around. Like at the end of the day, like no matter if I can't buy my kids the best thing, give them love. If I can't take them nowhere, give them love. Like love, like showing true, genuine compassion, love, like is what really saves the day for me.
No, that's legit. A lot of times we as individuals, especially in our culture, we are raised on survival.
Oh yeah.
You know, so we feel like even with women, I think that's what this whole you don't need a man phase come from. We gotta stop teaching women that.
Love is definitely important.
We gotta get love is important.
And I hear you on that. And I hear you, but they gotta also be willing to be a man.
No, not be a man, but stand up on their own feet. A woman should be a woman.
It's a lot of sassies out there.
Yeah. And then you gotta realize I'm gonna even give credit where credit is due, that some fathers like that's in homes, even some men that I know that married, like they're the backbone of the family for real, because some women are so broken from past hurt. The man is there trying to recuperate and build her back up, and he got so much on his plate. He's paying all the bills. He's doing stuff in the background that nobody else sees. You feel me? So some men take a lot of shit too, like being in relationships just like women. Hey, I definitely.
You know, I just shared a post about that, and there was a couple women that felt some type of way about it. One of the guys on the podcast that I watched, she was saying that, you know, women go all these years with dating toxic men and then get to a certain age and feel like, oh, I'm owed this. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, like now, you have developed toxic traits from dealing with toxic men, and then you get to a point where you haven't even healed from that, and you want a man that's already healed to come in and save you. That don't be fair.
No, that's not fair.
You know what I'm saying? I tell people, and one thing I had to learn for myself is until you heal, just stay out of the fucking relationship. You know,
amen.
Just stay out of the relationship, because if you ain't fully happy, that's going to eventually trickle on.
You gotta be very happy and very content within yourself.
Yeah. And then we were saying about the daughters. You know, women should always know, especially the way the economy is, we have to adjust to the economy. We can't go back into these biblical settings and thinking that we're gonna be able to survive still off of these biblical settings. You know what I'm saying? You have to adjust and know that at the same time, embrace your feminine energy. But at the same time, like if all this fails, I know I still know how to get me at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? That's why sometimes you can't knock the women who on OnlyFans making this shit. You know what I'm saying?
It's awesome.
And most men, they'll listen. If I was down on my luck and I was a woman, right? If I ain't sitting on it, I'm selling it. Yeah, I'm just saying. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It is what it is. I just feel like you just have to get to you got to get to a point. You got to get to a point, man, where women don't have to start. That's why you see women and you see women getting in fights. And you say, oh, she can't fight. She's a woman. She shouldn't even be fighting. You know what I'm saying? Like, let a woman be a woman. But we have, and shout out to my sister Tamika, a conversation that we had recently, that a lot of women had to embrace this masculine energy because of the lack of a man being around, and it even goes into their childhood. So
a lot of black women.
A lot of black women. Yeah. And I get it 100%, you know, because for a long time too, black women were by themselves too. And let's not, one thing I will put out, white women were too at one point in time. That's when you get to the women's suffrage, you know. And then what they did was they really tricked our women. It's like, oh, well, the colors are going to do the same thing. Let's get them on our, you know what I'm saying, on our team too, because we have, let's be for my great grandmother that just passed, she did not know how to drive. She didn't have to drive, a man did. You know what I'm saying? So you got, both of my great grandmothers didn't know how to drive. So we come from a grandparents who depended on just a man all the time. You know what I'm saying? So we have now going into an era where women bossing up. You got women who can work now. You got women making more money than a lot of men. You know, so a lot of women, you know, it's good to teach it. You got to start teaching. You got to start teaching your kids and your daughters that, you know, it's okay, and that a man too shouldn't be intimidated by how much money a woman is making, and a woman should not make a man intimidated by that.
Absolutely.
You know, so I know what y'all would have, because you said you got a daughter.
I got 2 daughters.
Yeah, 2 daughters, and then you just got a son and a daughter. So with your son or whatever, Miles.
heard he's a character now.
Oh my
Hey,
God.
so with your son, right? Do you have like some type of fear when it comes to growing up?
Yes,
And what is your fear?
he's gonna be a whore.
Ah,
For real, like that is my biggest fear. Like
Why? Why do you feel
because
like that?
that was
Well,
but my son, he's very loving.
Yeah.
Like he's very and I don't want him to be a mother's boy. That's
Yeah.
I think that right there is my biggest fear.
yeah.
I don't want him to be. He gonna be tough,
Yeah. Oh,
we definitely coming to that. We coming to that. Most
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah.
but I don't want him to be a mama.
Boy, I get that.
Like I'm glad I got my brothers and stuff around, but I'm not gonna rush myself into a relationship. But when I do get into one, but I definitely want,
Yeah.
better sooner than later.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna just wait and see what God got in store for me.
Yeah. So with
But
your daughters, like, is it something that you feel with them growing up?
Well, for the most part, my little daughter is who I'm really concerned about.
Yeah.
Like I said, my oldest daughter, I've been in her life since she's born. Like, I basically named her, so I've watched her, she might have some, I'm really concerned for my daughter about, maybe like bullying people.
Yeah.
Like because of the type of trauma she went through as a child before she was taken from her mom.
Yeah.
Things that she saw, like she's very advanced. She
Yeah.
knows too much. She's very snappy with grown people, with anybody. She don't care. And I be telling her all the time, like, you can't be like that, baby. And I'm like, why are you like that? And she never answered me. And I feel like because she don't have an answer, because I teach her, if you do things, you should know why you're doing it. Or I take responsibility. You feel me? Right. Take accountability. So I feel as like when she does these things, like act out, like talking ugly towards other kids or just being mean to her brothers and sisters, like when she don't have an answer, I know where it comes from. I know where that trauma comes from. Like, so
would you be open to her talking to somebody aside from you? Do you feel like she's scared to talk to you?
No, of course not. No, she's very open to talk to me.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like she's too open to talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I know that.
Perhaps a female.
Yeah, like to talk to her, go talk to a woman. I have let her talk to a counselor, and like they think she's perfectly fine. The white people. She's gonna sit there and make them laugh. She's not gonna act.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, the kid is gonna change up on you every time.
Yeah,
Like,
they're gonna show you.
When they put you in that setting, they're gonna change every time.
She needs someone that's familiar.
She needs
right.
Yeah.
Like one of my sisters, preferably. Like you know what I'm saying, somebody that don't tolerate the bull crap, like just like me, not somebody that eggs it on.
Yeah.
So that's the only thing, but self accountability is what I teach you. Like, so I know she's gonna like try to stand up for herself. No, this is the youngest one.
Okay. I get that. I understand. I know one thing he was saying, talk about the partnership with your spouse or mate. So when it comes to co-parenting or the lack thereof,
y'all ready for this?
How was your situation with that?
You talk first.
Well, mine don't live here in Florida, so it wasn't really. Now, I'm gonna give him the props that he had. Like when she was first born, he was there.
Yeah.
Like he was there 100%. We was both living in North Dakota. He was there. He would get her from school when I was in the field, and he would keep her for until I came from the field.
Mm-hmm.
So he was there until he got orders to Korea.
Mm-hmm.
And once he went to Korea, we did have a agreement. You're gonna spend this much a month. You're gonna come back and see it. He broke that agreement, and it's been like that ever since. Until he came and got her and took her to New York, and he was supposed to keep her for the year, but bought her back at the end of the summer.
Yeah.
And she has not seen him since. My
That's
son's dad
been a while,
has never seen him, and you know that situation.
So with your son not seeing his dad, how do you feel about that?
If it's, he mentioned him the other day. I told you on the phone the other day. Yeah. And it pisses me off because that was a situation I didn't even ask to be in.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna say it, but you know what happened.
I get you. Yeah.
And so I'm not even gonna say that one was my fault, but it was. Because I should have been having 6 months.
Yeah.
Because I had that intuition feeling. But it,
Yeah.
I don't like you, but it pisses me off though because I heard lies after lies every year. I'm gonna come see him, and now I haven't even talked to him in 2 years. And then my son just randomly mentioned him the other day for the first time.
If you don't do nothing else, don't lie to your kids. Don't lie to your kids.
He wasn't even 40.
Yeah, don't lie to your kids.
So what about you? Like, how was co-parenting for you?
Man, let me tell y'all something. I'm gonna be straight up real with you, bro. It's like, well, right now we're talking about me being a single father, so I'm gonna talk about what I'm about to say is I'm referring to my 2 daughters' mom. I'm not referring to my other baby mom. So let's get that understood. I'm pretty well known. I'm sure people are watching this, so let's get this understood. I'm talking as my kids that stay in my home.
Yeah.
So, co-parenting is, for my youngest daughter, her mom kept me away, to be honest with you, at first, it wasn't my baby, that's what I was sticking to, that's what, until I realized that, hey, nigga, this is my baby. So she kept my baby away, she'll let me see her, kept her away, let me see her, kept her away, but I'm not the type of man that's going to argue with a woman.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it. I'm not getting out my comfort zone. I'm not letting you mess up my energy. Say whatever you want to say. Keep my son away from me, or my daughter away from me for a month. Have at it. You feel me? I'm paying child support, doing what I got to do. But it came a time where she really needed me. And then, I brushed her off at first. And then I went back and, I apologized. So when I got my child, the tables turned. She was arrested, all this stuff was happening to my daughter. I mean, it's public record, so it was on the news, so I'm gonna talk about it. She had left my daughter in the home by herself. Like she had, beat my baby because of the losing of some drugs or something like that, that type of stuff. Like, so I have when this all happened, and
I'm telling her something.
When this all happened, I lost a big chunk of respect from her. So the night I mean, it's not something that I talk about. I try my hardest not to sit around and talk terribly about my. But hey, I'm very open and I'm very honest, and I'm telling you, hey, I look at her a different way now. I wish can never have anything to do with it. Through the whole process, I had my daughter for, going on 3 years, almost 3 years now. I'm going into the 3rd year. So it's like, we're in this situation. Her mom is in jail. She's flopping back and forth to jails in different counties. So what am I supposed to do? Feel sorry for you or take on and just move on with my daughter? Like, my daughter don't ask for her. She knows everything that happened. I don't talk bad about my baby mom to her daughter. I never do that. I've always told her, even when she called, I let her know. But for it's me, dealing with her is no dealings. The court gave me what I wanted. I had a good paid lawyer. Hey, I got custody of my child. Hey, we're gonna live forward and move on in life. Her mom get out of jail. Hey, she can see her when visitation is set appropriately. But other than that, I have no dealings with her. Yeah, of course. So now my oldest daughter, mom, it's my whatever. From something straight from high school, I don't deal with her either. You feel me? So it's like, for me, I'm more of a person like, you show me who you are one time, that's what it is. Like, I ain't got no dealing with you. My daughter's old enough to have her own phone, so she communicate with her mom. She stays in my house. She don't pay no bills in my house. She don't do nothing in my house. So there's no reason you talk to me. You talk to your daughter, and that's it. So that's how it is. But having relationships with your partner or with your baby mom, it is important. Being able to communicate and talk is definitely important. But it's I just read that comment. I haven't always been like this. You know what I'm saying? It took time to learn this. I had to grow. Like I said,
always been like this.
I grew up in a Christian home. Families, my aunts and uncles, preachers, apostles, like stuff like that. So like I said, I grew up around love. So I just try to show that. When I acted out as a man, being a man, whore and all that, I did that because that's what I wanted to do. I wasn't taught that, I wasn't around that, I did that because I wanted to do. When I went to Texas and went off to college, like everything that I did, I was waiting to do that. I was anxious, but I ain't always been like this. I ain't always, being a single dad, the night DCF called me and said, come get my daughter. I was like, what you want me to do with her? So it was a struggle. Like her not being close to me every day. Now you can't get her away from me. Now she don't want to never go away from me because I show her some type of security, like the real love. Like I don't beat on her, like I don't yell and scream at her. You know, I get on her ass, but I show her real pure, genuine love. Yeah, like, and that's what it's all about.
That's cool for real. So with your daughters or whatever, for you, do you feel like your daughters, was that just God's way of slowing you down?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Listen, if we ain't here to talk about myself, but just about my kids, like it ain't even been 5 years yet, but the way my kids changed my life, my thought pattern, like when you in it for the right reason, like, and you want to see them subscribe, like be the best that they can be. I want my daughter to continue to be an 80 honor roll student, and thank God that she's still doing that. You know, so it makes me feel wonderful to not to go out every weekend or not to be on every scene. I go out one time a week. That's on Thursday night. Y'all know, pull up to the Apollo every Thursday RB night. But other than that, like I really feel like if God wouldn't have gave me my youngest daughter, like I probably been, had some more kids by now. Just straight up being real, like bucking like out loud. I drink and do my thing, but if my kids wasn't around, and then I got my daughter at a point where I felt like I was the worst dad in the world anyway. So it kind of saved me mentally. Yeah. I was really like lost at a point, like, because I had fallen backwards, like so much back. Like I never been like this. I never been this down, this broke, this busted, this disgusted. You feel me? Like, but when I got my daughter, like it just all changed. And like, it's almost like it changed overnight for me. Like I woke up with her in the bed with me. I'm like, dang, I really gotta like change my life. And that morning I got up. My regular routine was like get up, smoke, and chill with my homies. That next morning I got up and went and started getting her registered for daycare, like making sure that shot records and stuff was. And since that day, like my life has really changed for me. Just all based off my little baby. Yeah. A kid that gets on my nerves every day. Yeah. That bothers me every day. But the love, like the companionship that we share, like I wouldn't trade it for nothing in the world. Like being a father to a girl is a different type of feeling, different type of love for me.
So with you, because you have a son and a daughter, is there a difference in your relationships?
Definitely. My daughter grew up with me.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah, she did. Yeah.
Like that was my thug. Yeah. Like she experienced the good, the bad, and the ugly. My son, he pretty much had it good. He was pretty much, established or whatever. But my daughter moved state to state with me. Yeah. School to school. My son didn't have to go through that. Yeah. So I definitely feel like it's more of a different connection than it is with my daughter than with my son.
Yeah. I had a couple parents on here one time before, and the point they made, or some of them made, were that their oldest child, they didn't connect as well as they thought they would with that child, and I guess maybe it's just like a what you want to call it?
I feel like that too, though.
You do?
Mm-hmm. Okay. I feel like it's more of a connection with my son. Although she grew up with me, she lived with my mom. Yeah. At a point in my life when I was in the military. Yeah. So I didn't get to experience her fully growing up. Yeah. My mom did for like 4 years. Yeah. Then my son came along and I've been with him every year of his life. Every day of his life. So it's like he's more so, and it's like an outfit I don't have to really fucking mind for.
And I ain't gonna say it's you, but the way you feel, like the way you feeling, like maybe it's just the way you feel. Like maybe,
but a lot of parents
do. I know. That's why I said it, because I feel like that way about my son, my oldest son. But my oldest son, like he, like just like a couple weeks ago, he reassured me like that I love you so much. Like I love being around. I love being in the house. You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, man, come on, man. I'm like, I missed so much time in your life. You really feel like that? Yeah. So sometimes it's really just maybe just how you feel. Like it maybe just not be like that for probably a 50-50 chance. You feel me? Like in all people that feel like that, I'm telling you, it might be just like, just you.
I ain't gonna say maybe that's what
it is. It's just probably
you know what? I get what you're going with.
Yeah, because you know how you feel as a parent, like you know how you feel like
you be beating yourself up.
I feel bad. Like I've been here every day of my son's life, and then I had to send my daughter like 1,000 miles away from me because of a situation that happened.
Yeah, but you did. But at the end of the day, you did it out of love.
Yeah.
You went out here partying. You was
jail.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, I get that. I get that 100%. I think that is very important to point out because I get exactly what you're saying. Is that sometimes as parents you probably overthink it.
Yeah, as you should too.
Yeah,
to keep your ass on your toes.
Right. And so with that, you know, being absent sometimes from a person, we beat ourselves up to, you know, I should have been there, I should have did this, but just think about how your child would feel if you didn't come back at all, if you didn't build that relationship at all. You know what I'm saying?
That's
what's important. That's what's important. Like give yourself enough credit to where I did what I had to do. But shit, I was young. I was still learning stuff myself. It was a lot of things that I wasn't taught due to the fact that my household probably was a little shaky.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I had to learn on my own. I didn't really was doing stuff to get a child, but I wasn't doing stuff to take care of a child.
Right.
You know, so it was a learning process for all of y'all, not just the children. I feel like when people have children, sometimes they, when I bear this child, I'm also bearing the fucking tree of knowledge. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, that's not how it works. You know, so it's a learning process for you and the child. And that's why too, when the parents did make the comments to where, you know, I kind of feel like my connection with my oldest child wasn't there because you didn't know. You know what I'm saying? But for the second child, you're like, okay, I could do this better. This is drowning on your ass, but I can do this better because I probably lacked in that area with you, you know.
And then,
yeah. So I know for me with my parents, me being the oldest, I kind of feel like they probably felt that way. Especially my mom. I do know that she probably feels certain type of ways that I probably feel some. I know she feels that I probably feel certain ways against her. I don't. Like I said, I'm very forgiving, very forgiving. Okay, but
I don't forget shit.
I do, and you know I forgive.
You're not supposed to forget.
Yeah, I don't forget.
You're not supposed to,
but I forgive. You know what I'm saying?
Gotta forgive.
Yeah, because the thing is that is, I have to. I look at. I'm the type of person I look at both sides of things. Like you know, I'm the type of person I ask my mom questions like, what was going on when you was a child? What did we have some real personal stuff that I realized, and then it clicks to me, and I might not even say it all the time. And then it clicks to me, oh, this is why you like that. This is why you react to this like that. This is why this is a trigger for you because of what you went through when you were 12, 11 years old. And see, and that's why I said before, and I said from the times, like our parents be healing from stuff that they never told us about. And we feel like, oh, mom, you should know me, you should talk to me. But when we get a certain age, we got to talk to mom. We got to talk to dad and see what's going on. Because as we know, that they go from taking care of us to us taking care of them. You know, so of course, if I don't know you, a lot of people don't know their parents for real. They just know them for being a parent. I didn't want to know, well, who you was back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Was you a hope? Was you doing this? I just want to know.
I found out from my siblings. I found out from my brother and sister. I know my mama. We got the most kids in the family. I knew you was getting
Yeah, so you know, we have to give our parents, you know what I'm saying, that leeway to, you know, try to heal from what they're going through too. You know, because I always look at my situation because I know a lot of people go through stuff and it could always be worse. I always tell myself that, man, it could always be worse. It could always be worse. You know, and you see people, man, you hear stories about people having to sleep in their cars. You hear stories about people, parents being drug addicts and doing all kind of crazy stuff and stealing from them, dying at a young age. They didn't even get the chance to even learn who their parent was.
And you know what? I take my hat off and I'm gonna give a shout out to my cousins because their parents damn sure, you know, they had to raise themselves pretty much because our family, you know, but especially my cousin Brenda, like she definitely overcame from not having no parents in her life, and I definitely give a shout out.
She got kids.
No.
Okay, that's what's up.
That's like for real. She doing her thing.
Yeah, very shout out to Bree, very successful. What's her headline?
Making the Bree.
Makers of Bree, man. Make sure y'all check out Making the Bree.
I'll start crying when she said
Make sure y'all don't cry, Bree. Don't cry. Dry your eye, baby. Dry your eye, baby. Look. But shout out to Makers of Bree, man, because it is very humbling to see Black women who go out and flourish like that, regardless of how their upbringing was. Because too, you gotta understand, even with them being successful, they still hold on to a lot of stuff too. So for you to like break that barrier down and be like, you know, I'm gonna make something for myself. And she did, you know. I mean, she making some good money. And she got a little side. I ain't gonna say little, she has a side hustle that she does too as well. So shout out to Bree for that, man. I really fuck with Bree. I know when I've had conversations recently before I did this show with a lot of parents who were raising children on their own. And I got a lot of angry responses. And one thing when I was growing up, my mom used to do, she used to make remarks about my dad. And I remember her sister telling her one day, my aunt was like, stop talking down on him about his daddy. Let him find out who his daddy is himself. Mm-hmm. And she did after that. And I got older and I found out that a lot of the comments my mama made was because she was hurt. She was hurt. She was so hurt. And then not you hurt, but you named me after him. So every time you look at me, it's a reminder of who he is, you know. And I had asked my mom one time, I was like, you mad at me for the man who you decided to sleep with. You know, you gave him my name and you gave me his name. You gave me his name. Like every time you look at me, it's gonna be a reminder. Every time you call me, it's gonna be a reminder of who I am. We even have the same nickname. You know what I'm saying? So you can't be mad at me. Now you have to get to a point as a parent to what can I heal from, or how can I heal from this situation? So now my issues won't wear off on my children, because that's going to affect our relationship. And it did at one point in time, you know. With me, like I said, I'm very forgiving. I'm the person that looks at the bigger picture. Like even when I piss somebody off, I try to sit back and I try to think, was I wrong? What could I have said or done better? Or what did I say that make you feel that way? Because let's be for real, I could say something to you and I can mean it one way, but you can interpret it something another way. And you have a right to do that. Yeah, as a human being, you have a right to do that. Yeah. So you know, you have to be real about any conversation that you have with anybody and be honest at the fact that, you know, sometimes people might receive you the wrong way. And I think that's, you know, parents, and I know a lot of times parents strive to be a perfect parent. There's no such thing as a perfect parent.
There's no such thing.
You know, and you know, now we live in an era where people want to buy their kids out these clothes and post them on social media.
And then they go to school and bully other people's kids.
Yeah, or then you ask them what's their favorite color and they say spaghetti. Right. You know, like crazy stuff like that. Yeah, they don't know how to count. Mm-hmm. And, you know.
Do you know how many kindergarten teachers posted statuses on Facebook about their kids not knowing the colors, not knowing numbers, not knowing how to flush the toilet, not knowing how to go to the bathroom?
They leave it to the teachers. Yeah.
For the fact. And it's not the teacher's job.
It's not the teacher's job. The teacher's job is to assist.
It's to assist what you're teaching them at home.
Exactly.
And if you're not teaching them at home, then what are you doing?
Yeah, and then when it comes to our children, you know, fortunately we do have a lot of black teachers, but it depends on the community that you live in. Yeah. So when it comes to our community, a lot of times we are being taught by teachers that don't look like us, so they don't even know how to communicate with us for real. They don't know our culture. They don't know our culture. They don't know where we come from. Yeah, and then they tell us that, oh, we all did, so he needs to do that, and you know, DaQuarius is acting like this in class, but at the same time, DaQuarius hungry as hell, because even if he get to school, y'all don't even want to feed him if they don't make it to school at a certain time, right. You know? Yeah. And so you leave it on the parents, but sometimes the parents are struggling too, you know? So one thing I can say, shout out to the mothers who get up and going to work and, you know, breaking their neck and having to take Ubers, having to take buses to get their kids to
school. I just take my head off.
Yeah, so because I get it, man. It's a lot of stuff. She said it is the fact that kids pay for the choices the parents made in their partner selection. We still got to be careful about who we lay up with. That's true. I remember when I had a conversation, my mom came and was like, "Oh, that's so true." I laid up some. Yeah, mom was like, "Time is ticking. I'm ready. When you ready?" I said, "Look, I grew up. Man, look, I don't know how many about y'all, but I know how it is how to boil some water to put in your goddamn bathtub. Like I did that before. So for me, how I grew up, unfortunately, I had my mom there, but man, most importantly, I had the best grandparents that anybody could have had, that really did their thing. So fortunately, I had that, but there's a lot of people who didn't have that. You know, man, if you never experienced the love of a real grandma, like I just can't even explain that. You know what I'm saying? I can't talk about it. It's such a conversation. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, ain't no look. I just lost my grandma a couple months ago, you know, and I feel it. I still feel it. Yeah, especially like when last week was a hard week for me. And I felt the cool breeze and it reminded me of just sitting and on the porch. You know, it just, you think about stuff like that and all that love. Yeah, all that love, man, because the grandparents now are different. They be in the club, they ain't babysitting. Y'all need to babysit your damn grandchildren. And the thing is, they not babysit your damn grandchildren. I think now they feel like, well, I ain't gonna babysit you. I ain't gonna babysit that child so you can do X, Y, Z. But the thing is, you can babysit just to teach your child what they like, your grandchild what they like at home. Like, take the initiative. You know what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something. Children be attached to their grandparents sometimes more than their
What?
parents.
My
You
son
know?
will sleep with my mom.
Yeah, you know, and that's love. But what we don't have many grandparents out there. Man, most of these grandparents, some of them don't even know how to cook.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I can cook better than some of y'all grandma.
Yeah, yeah, man, that's the thing. So, you know, we need more grandparents, man. That's gonna start nurturing their grandkids. A lot of grandparents can't even stand their grandkids.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, you know, you got grandparents can't even stand to see them coming. Yeah, you again. Yeah, you again. Bring that goddamn child around. You gonna come get them? You know what I'm saying? But it is crazy.
From the bus stop. Don't want to take them from daycare. Don't want to let them spend one night at your house.
Because you gotta go to the casino.
That's why I'm
You
grateful
gotta go
for my mom.
see.
She old,
You gotta get
you
She
know,
enjoy her
and
time.
baby, I'm
Yeah,
so
time.
grateful.
That's
I'm
what's
so
up.
grateful. I can leave tonight and come back in the morning and we'll get a phone call. Like, I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, even though I don't, I can.
Yeah.
And I'm grateful for that. And I pray.
I like the auntie Renee.
Oh.
Hey, but that's very, very true, man. It's just that, you know, people have to be very selective about their choices and how you even co-parent, because you arguing back and forth with these people. Like, kids pick up on that energy.
I'm not arguing.
Yeah, I'm not either. I ain't gonna argue.
I say whatever you want to say. I'm a deadbeat. I'm this and that because I want to talk. I won't go back and forth with you, but I'm not. Yeah. I'm gonna say what I got to say, and that's gonna be that.
Yeah,
I'm not doing it.
I get that 100%. Man, well, she said, okay, well, I took care of my grandchildren, but I didn't have a life, so I had to always raise my son. I would take my son to do it for a while. Grandparents, let me say this too, though, Jamel. Don't feel like y'all have to throw y'all life away when y'all get older.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'll
be trying to
say, hell no.
Yeah.
All right, damn, mama, damn. I wouldn't sleep there.
Yeah. I know. I try to get my mom out the house. I try to get her.
Yeah.
But my mom is very active with her grandchildren. So I try to tell her, though. She also sit at home, and I'm going to let you just go sit outside and play. Yeah. But I'm like, Mom, take them to the park. You know, take them to the movies or something like that.
Yeah.
But my mom, she's a homebody without the grandkids.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So for her, she don't even do stuff like that, but she ain't even got them. But definitely, though, when you get a certain age, man, please don't stop living. Man, you gotta live. I honestly feel, you know, we was in high school, and I'm like, damn, we be 30 old, then we get to 30. And I feel like, man, the fun is about to begin right now. You know what I'm saying?
That's how y'all feel at 30?
Yeah, I do. Me
tired.
personally. Nah, I'm not. Let me tell you something. If you call yourself old, you're gonna feel old. I say I'm getting older.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna call myself old. I have an old spirit though.
I got it. Yeah. I think all three of us got an old spirit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely got an old spirit. Yeah. I think so.
Now, I must say though, if I did not live in Pensacola, Florida, I would definitely be going out more than I do.
Yeah.
But it's
that's probably what you live at too. Yeah, you're right. Okay, there's nothing to do.
We got some people that's doing some pretty decent things. You know what I'm saying? We got the Thursday nights. We got with the Apollo. We got paparazzi on Friday nights. We got casting
The
flights.
thing with paparazzi is, you gotta be really careful with the floors.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Once I see that girl fall in front of me, baby, it was a wrap for me. So I'm getting this y'all. Those floors, baby, you had to skate around.
Yeah. So you know, definitely though, man. Pay attention to kids, to the single parents. Shout out to y'all for doing y'all thing. Make sure don't do like most parents do and be talking down on y'all's choices to the kids, because even when the child get older, especially for these women, I saw y'all say niggas ain't shit and oh man, this. Like, first of all, have you slept with every nigga? You know what I'm saying? Let's do it. And if you have, that's a problem on your behalf. You know what I'm saying? Too, because I don't know if y'all saw the model chick who said that she slept with 2,000 men. Yeah. Oh.
And I'm just trying to figure out. She said 2,000 people.
Yeah.
So they could be men and women. No.
Oh, that's true.
That's a lot of spirits.
Energy. Yeah.
A lot of energy.
Well,
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, she's a nice looking woman too. You know.
She was real about her. You ain't gonna get no women that feel about it.
But see, that's true. In high school. But the thing about being real does not make it right.
Right.
I think with black people,
you should say that again.
Yeah, we make
Was she a
being
porn
real. No, I don't think she was even a porn star.
See, that would make sense if she was a porn
She must do a lot of cable. You know what I'm saying? But I know we as a community we always make toxic shit for our community popular. We say, oh, they being real, but they don't make it right. Like this is not the way that we should be doing stuff. We so far behind as a culture right now, and then that's why now. Even if I do feel stuff away, we see stuff in the media all the time with cops killing black people and stuff like that. But it comes a time we have to look at our own mission.
Yes, man.
Yeah, what we do to
how can we change it?
How can we change our own?
Fuck adapting to it.
Exactly.
How can we
change?
Because what has happened is we have to adapt to it and we got comfortable with it.
Yeah.
And we're the problem too.
Yeah,
legitimately.
Yeah. While on our own shit right now. Oh, I appreciate y'all for coming.
Hey, I appreciate y'all for being here today.
Yeah.
Hey, that's real though. To all the single parents, men and women, hey, be respectful towards your kids. Listen to your kids. Like, communicate with them. Show them love. Show them unconditional love. Show them genuine love. Like, for real. Like, I listen to my daughter, my oldest daughter, talk all the time. She just be like, I just don't want to talk to my mom. I'll be like, why not? I just don't. She don't even have an excuse. Like, make them want to talk to you. Make them want to open up to you. My daughter's talking to me about things that I don't even want to hear. Yeah. But because of how I am with them, how open I am with them, I don't sugarcoat nothing. Yeah. Nothing at all. I be straight out real with them. Yeah. And that's just how it should be. Yeah. No matter, you ain't gonna be the best parent. It's no best parent. Nobody perfect at this, man. Right. It's a struggle every day. Hey, all you can do is love them.
You can learn from them too.
Most definitely learn from them.
And if you really love your child enough, you're gonna learn.
You're gonna learn.
You should want to know who your child is.
Man, I was talking about problems. I ain't gonna lie.
Corbin's little sister, which I think she's like just getting to high school, maybe. Went out once when we was in Key West. We was going out, and she told us this trick. If your drink look like if the ice is not floating when you get your drink, do not drink it because they put something up in the drink, and I saw it on TikTok. What the heck? Hey, but listen, these kids are way more advanced because of social media.
Right? Yeah. You didn't see this?
Well, we had to sneak on. And what was fun to us was getting on MySpace and decorating your page and put a song up on it. That was fun to us. Now, yeah, you know what I'm saying?
I like reels and videos.
All kind of stuff become famous.
How you do that?
They want to kill each other.
How you get all that? And she do it without. But also be mindful.
I was just about to say that.
Yes.
Because baby, everything she posts, I see.
Yeah.
Got her that stuff.
Yeah.
Be very, 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 very mindful.
No.
And don't be your kid's friend. I ain't a motherfucking friend that can't pay $1,400.
Build a trust with y'all ain't friends. Because your mission is to rear your child. Right. To raise your child the right way. That's right. And if you their friend, you're gonna be too passive on a lot of stuff, man. We see that a lot now in our community with people trying to be their kid's friend. Look, I was the type person. If I'm going to the club, don't let me see my mom in the club. Hey, you got to go.
That's what my mama said. She said, when my girl got to the club, I was done.
Yeah, you got to go. You know what I'm saying? But I appreciate anything you want to say.
No, just love your kids, man. Take care of your kids, man. Do what you gotta do.
Love your
kids. Hard, man.
Yeah.
It's hard.
And don't talk bad about them to their mom and their dad. Really, I know it's more so common about the dad. Like, don't tell. I thank God that I got baby mamas that, you know, some of my baby mamas are different than others. You know, I ain't gonna speak bad about all of them, but don't talk bad about your kids. Don't talk bad about your kids to their mother or their dad, but mostly their dad, for real. Yeah. Because y'all black women do have that big issue.
I don't bring that up.
Yeah.
My daughter is on her own.
I want to say one more thing. I'm gonna get up and walk off, but because I know some of y'all get mad like this. A woman, I don't care what y'all say. I don't care how much knowledge y'all got, how much money y'all got. A woman cannot be a man. Okay. You're not a father. I'm a single father, and I can never be a mother.
And just be the best mother that you
just be the best mother you can be. That's all.
Just be the best mother you can be. You know what I'm saying?
Take care.
Hey, I appreciate y'all for coming in, and I appreciate everybody that checked in to the G-Spot Podcast. Make sure y'all follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and on YouTube, and make sure y'all download the RWR Live 365 app so y'all can listen to my show and other shows anytime. And we got some good music on there too, man. We got some really, really good music on there. Y'all have a safe night tonight. Make sure y'all say y'all prayers, believe y'all prayers. Shout out to all my people that's on the fast right now. I'm hungry as hell right now, but I will say
He
this.
is hungry.
This fast has been pretty good for me. I'm holding on. Yeah.
Holding on to God's unchanging.
Yeah, right. We only got a couple more weeks still. We only got a couple more. I think we only got like
I'm gonna do the next one with him, y'all.
Hold on, wait.
Oh, the next one is like 42 days.
You fasting for 42 days?
I'm fasting for 22 right
2
now.
days.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, like I said, I grew up in a church family,
It's
so
not the next year.
I'm with that. I can do that. I haven't done one in so long.
It's not the next year.
Yeah, next year, and it's right after Mardi Gras, the next one. The thing with that one, I lost 15 pounds up there. I didn't like that, but it lets you know you should start eating better because we rely so much on unsafe.
That's
You know, America has.
You haven't ate in 22 days?
No, I
have.
Nah, I ain't on the cycle now.
Oh,
yeah.
You the 12 disciples?
Now he can only eat fish and vegetables.
Yeah, fish
Okay.
and vegetables, fruits, and I can only eat within a certain time. So what I do is from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. and after that I don't eat nothing. And so, and sometimes that I only eat one time, and because I be so busy doing it, I just eat everywhere.
And your prayers is on your mind at the same time.
Yeah. So, but I get my prayers in. I believe in my prayers. One thing I've been learning to do, I don't know if y'all seen that TikTok video, a girl was saying how locking the energy in your hand, when we do that, our energies don't manifest in our prayers. So start putting your hands up.
I was talking to other kids.
Yeah, put your hands up so that energy can go up to the sky because you want your prayers to go up. So maybe y'all should start doing that, man. I started doing it. You probably walk in my room and I'll be up there, you probably say, praise and worship. You know, because I do. I be talking to God and all the good energies, man. I need y'all to work something out for me. You know, and praise just being Iwa Pele, and the coach that I'm in, we say Iwa Pele. Iwa Pele means good character. Always practice good character. Do good for people, not just because you want blessings. Do good for people so you can just be a good person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Real benefit.
Being a good person gets you a very long way.
Get you a long way, man. Get you a very long way.
The person will take you places where money can't take you.
Exactly. Just because you're a good person. Just be a good person. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be safe tonight. And man, make sure y'all check us out again next week. All right.